The Straw Hat Pirates' sprawling adventure across the Grand Line has been a staple of anime since the late 90s, and with more than 900 episodes, it's fair to say that One Piece has had more than a few unforgettable moments. Narrowing down this list to just 10 of the best moments in One Piece was an extraordinarily difficult task, and some tough cuts had to be made. But regardless, here are our picks for the top 10 One Piece moments as of episode 923 of the anime. Of course, by the very nature of this video, there are going to be major spoilers for One Piece. We are holding nothing back here, but we will inform you before each entry what episode the spoiler covers, so you can skip to the ones you haven't come across yet. And with that said, let's kick this off with number 10. The long, epic battle between Luffy and Katakuri began to reach its climactic end as the few onlooking Big Mom pirates berated both of them. With a newfound respect for each other, they both unleashed their conqueror's haki simultaneously, creating this vibrant and impactful energy that knocked out the annoying pirates and destroyed the surrounding environment. This particularly epic moment beautifully portrayed the intensity and willpower they both had without saying a word. After much fighting, they both saw themselves as equals and still had enough strength to use their haki to continue their fight uninterrupted. Although Luffy has had a good chunk of haki clashes by this point, this haki clash between Luffy and Katakuri stands above the rest. The friendship that developed between Luffy and Bon Clay over the course of the Impel Down arc is arguably one of the strongest bonds that Luffy has ever formed with anyone outside of his crew or his family. Bon Clay just has this unique chemistry with Luffy because they're almost kindred spirits with how wacky their personalities are. This was why it was so poignant when Bon Clay revealed his plan to help the Straw Hats escape Impel Down, which involved him fooling everyone by impersonating the Warden Magellan and telling the control room to open the gates to the prison. It was the second time that Bon Clay made a sacrifice for Luffy, and while it also was the last time, at least this time, he was able to hear Luffy's heartfelt appreciation for his friend. Sanji has one of the saddest backstories in all of One Piece. The guy just can't catch a break. Young Sanji could care less about pirates, especially Zeph, who was stranded on a deserted island with him. Nonetheless, the subtlety of Zeph's actions made for a heartwarming moment when Sanji finds out that Zeph sacrificed his leg for him. The fact that Sanji thought Zeph was this horrible pirate the whole time, only to find out that he's one of the most selfless people he's ever met, is definitely one of One Piece's most memorable moments.
お前が俺と同じ夢を持ってたからだ。
With the Battle of Marineford underway, the war pauses as everyone focuses on Whitebeard's final moments. In this emotionally charged scene, a dying Whitebeard reveals to the world in his last breath that
One Piece は実在する!
In that moment, we realized in disbelief that Whitebeard had died standing up. One pirate age was ending, and a new one was being born. This moment is what solidified Zoro as the badass of the Straw Hat crew. With Luffy exhausted from his battle with pirate warlord Moria and the Straw Hats being taken out by warlord Kuma, only Zoro is left standing. Zoro, realizing he can't win against Kuma, offers up his life in exchange for Luffy's, to which Kuma agrees, but only if Zoro can take on Luffy's injuries for his own. It's in this emotional moment we realize the strong bond that Zoro, the pirate hunter, has forged with his crewmates and that he's willing to give up his life to spare theirs.
なんだこの血の量は! 何もなかった。
There's too much that goes into the fight between Luffy and Usopp to nail it down to one quote-unquote moment, so we're gonna cheat a little here and encapsulate the whole thing into one. Everything involving the conflict between Luffy and Usopp at Water 7 is just so emotionally intense. Usopp knows he has no chance to win against Luffy, but he tries his best anyway because despite how much he respects Luffy as a captain, despite how much he loves all of his fellow crew, he simply cannot go through with parting with the Going Merry. There's a lot of emotionally charged fights in One Piece, but Usopp vs. Luffy hits the hardest by far.
バカ野郎。お前が俺に勝てるわけねえだろうが。やめろ。やめろ。
The sound of crying fills the air as Akainu's magma fist plunges through the back of Ace, taking his life in front of Luffy. In Ace's last heartfelt words, he thanks everyone for loving him as he dies on the battlefield. We feel the weight behind Ace's death as we are stuck watching Luffy in shock, realizing just as he did, that his life was forever changed. This moment is the payoff that we had been waiting what felt like 100 episodes for. Ever since she left the Straw Hats without saying a word out of fear of losing her friends, like she lost her family on Ohara, we, along with Luffy and the crew as well, had been waiting for Robin to do something, anything, to show some sort of resistance to the ruthless and Weasley spandom. That moment finally comes in episode 278, where upon gazing at her captain and crewmates on the other side of Enies Lobby, and seeing that they're willing to go to war even with the world government if it means having her in their lives, Robin finally responds to Luffy in one clear voice. And that's all Luffy ever needed. Those who aren't One Piece fans may find it a little weird to be emotionally attached to an inanimate ship, but anyone who's seen the funeral of the Going Merry likely knows what it's like to shed tears over a dying boat. The way the focus shifts from crew member to crew member as they each relive their own introduction to the Merry while somber music plays in the background is just so beautifully done. And then they hit you with the emotional gut punch of the disembodied voice of the Merry saying, "I'm sorry, I wish I could have taken you further." And then they hit you with Luffy, who had been holding his shit together up to this point, utterly breaking down, apologizing for every small thing he did to the ship. It all adds up to one of the most heart-wrenching moments in all of One Piece.
僕は本当に幸せだった。君たちがいたから。
アーロンってのはドイツだ。
The scene with Luffy and Nami during the Arlong Park arc had one of the most defining moments for the Straw Hat crew and for many fans of the series. At this point, we've known Nami as a scheming, confident woman who can take care of herself, but her dire situation with the Arlong pirates brings her to tears as her family and friends prepare to fight to the death. Seeing Nami drop to the ground in despair, screaming in anger as she attempts to cut up her despised Arlong tattoo is one of the most heartbreaking scenes in all of anime. It's at this moment that we see a different side of Luffy that's calm and serious. With the last ounce of Nami's stubbornness whittling away, she finally says to Luffy, This iconic moment followed by Luffy's gesture of giving his treasured straw hat to Nami with a resounding is why Luffy in this wonderful series is so beloved. And that's our list. What were some of your favorite moments in One Piece? Let us know in the comments, and if you want more anime, check out our list of the top 10 anime of all time, along with the 5 best dubs of all time as well. And for everything else, keep it here on IGN.